Hi, I'm the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I obviously am missing a little makeup on my eyes, but I wanted to try out the new Wayne Goss Luxury Eye Palette in his new colorway called Tourmaline. This is so beautiful, and I haven't touched it yet. I've been meaning to like stick my fingers in there, like, no, don't do it yet. I wanted to try it for the first time with you. So I have not made it a secret that I have loved like 95% of everything I have tried from Wayne Goss. I have two of his other luxury eye palettes. I didn't get the Moonlight Pearl, the one that's kind of blue and gray, because those just aren't shades that I reach for. But the first one, love. The second one that I got this summer, the Pearl one, has turned into one of my everyday eyeshadows. So easy to use, but I don't know that it's gonna work for every single skin tone because it does lean a little bit light. I feel like this right here has a wide variety of shades and will work for most people. I do love that Wayne formulates his eyeshadows to work not just on all skin tones, but also all ages of skin, because as we age, the change in the texture of our eyelids really makes a difference on how things look on our skin. I'm going to be 47 in January. I really am starting to see a difference in the elasticity of my face, in the way that I have more texture, and it's not from large pores, it's just not as taut and not as plump as it used to be. And I am looking for products that will still make me feel my best and still give me the opportunity to play with color. And I am super excited to try this. I know this is gonna end up looking a little bit darker than I normally go for, but I think I'm gonna start with this kind of center shade right here. This is shade number 5, and I love that he does like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have to worry about trying to figure out what name it is. And I'm gonna put this right here. I love how this is blending. It's so beautiful. I don't feel like I have any patchiness going on. Of course, I do have like a little magic wand here. This is Wayne Goss's number 3 brush. I feel like this is just super easy. I could definitely get a little bit darker. I'm gonna start with this lighter wash, and we're gonna play with some of the other colors today. I feel like Wayne's approach to makeup is really well suited to my personal makeup preferences. I've been watching him for more than a decade. I remember when he first launched his brushes, I managed to get one in a Beautylish Lucky Bag a couple years after he launched them. I always wanted them, but I didn't want to spend like the luxury brush price. And when I got one, the first one I got was the number 2 brush for face. And then I like, oh, this is what a brush can do. And then I started buying Wayne Goss brushes. So I have his anniversary set. I have his face set. I have a lot of brushes. I love his airbrush. My fave. Love it so much. His 00 brush. Love this so much. I feel like there's so many really good brushes that he makes. And after falling in love with his makeup aesthetic, the tutorials he would do, it still does. And then on top of that, his brush line, the minute he came out with makeup, I was like, yes. And ever since then, I've liked almost everything I've tried. I haven't tried it all. I've yet to try the mascara, and I should have purchased that when I was buying this from Beautylish. I just forgot. But I'll tell you, the only thing that I've tried from Wayne that didn't work for me, and he says, this is what it is and this is what it does, and I was hoping for it to be a different type of product to do what I wanted it to do, is his eye pencil. He says it's a kohl pencil. I wanted it to be waterproof, non-transfer, all of that. And he says it's a kohl pencil, so I should have known. So I have an eyeliner from Wayne, and I don't like the formula. That's just me. Does it apply beautifully? Yes. Does it smudge? Yes. Does it stay exactly where my watery eyes need it to and not kind of sad little black panda tears? No. But I know I have watery eyes and I need a different formula of eye pencil. I bought it hoping it would be like, but that's me needing a product that was described one way to perform in another. That was not Wayne telling me it was going to do something that it didn't end up delivering on. It was me going, but I need you to be this. And it's like, this is what I am. But I have particularly enjoyed his powder products, his blushes, his bronzer. Oh my goodness, his bronzer is so good. And his eyeshadows. They have turned into everyday favorites for me. Okay, if I don't stop this, we're gonna have nothing but a berry eye going on. I'm gonna use this, I don't know if I should go for more like this aubergine shade or this brown. Let's go with this more eggplanty shade right here. I'm picking up a smaller brush. This is the Wayne Goss number 6. And I'm gonna put this right here on the outside edge. This is more of a satin. It has a little bit of color to it. I feel like I got too much on my brush. I'm knocking it off. These blend so beautifully, and I don't feel like, you know, these soft satin shades do anything but make my eyes look luxurious and beautiful. Okay, I do have a little bit of fallout here. I did admit to picking up too much on the brush, but I'm just gonna take a brush here, and I do have a little bit of color like sitting right here that I didn't have there before. I can probably fix that with powder later, but just so you know, that's happening. I'm gonna take a mixture of this more cranberry shade and this more aubergine shade, just tap between the two, and I'm gonna go right along my lower lash line with this. I'm gonna apply some color, and then I'm gonna diffuse it with a brush because I don't want it to be too intense. I'm gonna go into this shade number 1 here. This is kind of like a pearly pink shade, and I'm gonna put this kind of in the inner corner and on that first part of my lid. Ooh, that's so pretty. I love the finish of these eyeshadows, especially that kind of soft shell pink shade I just put in. You'll notice I have a little bit of glow here in the inner corner, but it's not like boom, like super reflective, like a mirror, like some pigments that are just like shiny and blingy. It's soft, it's almost ethereal. It's very much it feels luxurious and understated, but not like I can't see the pigment, but like that really expensive lady, you know? The lady who can go into like the Bergdorf Goodman and buy anything she wants. That's what this eye makeup is giving me. That's not me, but I like that look. I'm gonna go in with this shade here, and I'm gonna put that on the center of my lower lash line. It's a little bit deeper, but it does have a little shine to it. I like that. This is the shade that when I saw it, I was like, I want to put that in my crease. I was like, you always put a shade like that in your crease. Let's do something different. It's very pretty. I'm going to go back in between those two kind of aubergine and kind of berry shades and just kind of blend out this edge here just a smidge. I love this little tiny brush. This is the Wayne Goss number 8. I'm going to use that with this right here. And I'm going to use it to kind of carefully line my eyes with. I'm just wetting my brush with a little bit of setting spray and turning this brown kind of, you can see where I've got it going on here, into like a little wet cake liner. I wasn't getting the sort of pigmentation or staying power that I wanted before. Oh, but this will do it. Hello. If you ever decide to do that, I always try and keep the place where I dampen a powder on the edge so I can use the rest of it with the brush. Sometimes I develop hard pan in that area, and that'll be where I consistently go back to load up a wet brush to use it as a liner. The last thing I'm dying to do is put on this celestial shade here. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna tap this all over the lid. I found that using this artistry wand from McGrath was a great way to help the color adhere from these celestial shades. So I'm just going to swipe on a little bit of this and then just tap this right over. I feel like I need a little bit more depth on the outside. I'm going to go back into this shade here and maybe mix that with the brown. And we'll see if we can get a little bit more depth on the outside. I was worried I was going to go too dark, and it's not the shadows, it's me. I'm always hesitant of, oh, my eye look got too dark. I tend not to wear a lot of dark eyeshadows. If you've watched my channel, I'm sure you picked up on that. But I do like to have a little bit more depth in the outside corner because it suits my eye shape a lot better. I'm gonna take a minute to throw on just a little bit of mascara. I might even take a minute to either adapt or change my lip color altogether, but I'll be right back. I did end up changing the lip. I always end up like a little this, a little that. I'll leave everything I used in the description bar down below. Let's talk about this. I really like the way this look turned out. What surprised me is that this celestial shade here, I feel like is a little bit more of a hint of sparkle, or I can get just a little bit more opacity from the ones I have from his other palettes. But I'm gonna stick my finger in here and we're gonna see for sure whether that's just, you know, pretend or whether that's real. All right, so this one here is the new Celestial shade. This one here is the one from Topaz, and this one here is the one from Pearl. I feel like this one is the most sheer right here. This is the new one, the one from Imperial Topaz, and then this one here from Pearl. I feel like have a little bit more, and I know they're all really sheer and sparkly, but I feel like this one here is the sheerest. That really does resonate with my experience using it today. I love these kind of more aubergine shades and this more kind of cranberry shade for fall. I think it made for a really pretty eye look. My favorite thing about these, let's just swatch the whole thing. If you're looking at the palette, the swatches go from here across the top and then from here right across the bottom. I'm gonna put this down and let me show you here. I feel like this shade here is a really pretty shade. It looks very pink in the pan, but I like the way that it has kind of a soft glow to it. This one tends to be a little bit more golden, a little bit more warm. This aubergine shade here, I felt like didn't swatch as well on my hand as it worked well on my eye. I felt like I got a really beautiful diffused look, and this is why swatches aren't always perfectly accurate. And these aren't like, you know, perfectly taped off, perfectly swatched swatches. This is just like run your finger over the pan and swipe. That's what each one of these is, except for this guy here. I built this one up. But I was impressed by how much pigment we're getting from this brown. And I love kind of that soft, rusty satin glow from this shade here. It looked more, maybe it's just me, but in the pan, it doesn't look quite so rusty and red. And here it looks a little bit warmer. Now this Celestial shade, I built it and built it and built it and built it, but I don't have that on my eyes. I love this shade here. I could very easily see me wearing this and a little bit of this in the outer corner, like a 2 shadow look, easy peasy. I could also see myself using this and this as a 2 shadow look, or even just wearing this alone all over the lid, like soft on the inside corner, a little heavier and deeper on the outside, eyeliner and mascara. I really feel like these are beautiful. They have a really nice, soft quality to them. The matte especially, oh my goodness, it's so good. The 2 shadows that really called to me when I opened it up were these first 2 here, because this soft kind of shell pink, love. And then this has a little bit more gold to it, but neither of them are fully like, boom, crazy, super gilded on the eye. It looks elegant. It looks rich lady. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know. I definitely have that vibe. I'm not a rich lady at all, but every now and again I want to give off the vibe of I know what I'm doing, don't bother me. And I would wear this eyeshadow for that. I definitely would. I think it's really pretty, and I feel like it allows you to play with color without being too much. Now, can you get more pigmentation? Yes, yes you can. I didn't use it that way today because I like lighter shades, but I like the way these look. The one that was just a little bit of a was this one here, because I feel like it is a little bit texturally different and it's not quite as opaque as the other Celestial shades. Is it pretty? Yes. Does it give you that soft shimmer? Yes. And maybe not shimmer, but a soft glimmer, I think is a better word for it. But it definitely isn't like a glitter. Do you see the small variation there? And I think that the older I get, the more I like something like this, where there is something that catches the eye, and it is kind of a scattered sort of look to the eye, that scattered light approach. I really, really like it, and I think it's super gorgeous. So when it comes down to a question of, do you need it? Now, you don't really need any eyeshadow palette, but if you tend to prefer formulas that perform well on something that's not a 12-year-old eyelid, this is beautiful. I feel like it does a really good job on my eyes, and I've noticed a significant change in the texture of my lids, and especially my under eyes, in the past 12 months. I can definitely tell that I'm losing elasticity and that I'm getting a little bit more crepey texture, and that's okay. But these don't emphasize that, and they still make my eyes look beautiful. I feel like this color story is gonna look good on brown eyes. It's gonna look good on blue eyes. It's probably gonna look really good even on green eyes, because burgundy and green, gorge. But I feel like it comes down to what you think you're going to use. I feel like this is an understated, luxurious palette if you like these shades. Let me just show you really quickly. The first one I have is the Imperial Topaz. This one here is so much warmer. And it does have this kind of signature black, but if you like warmer tones, you may not necessarily like this, and I think it all comes down to seeing them side by side. I don't have the Moonlight Pearl because those blues and grays just weren't for me, but I did pick up this pearl here. This one you can see is just a little bit warmer, but it's not as warm as the Imperial Topaz. So this is definitely, I feel like out of the three that I have, it leans just a little bit cooler, obviously a little bit deeper. I feel like this pearl palette here may not work for all skin tones, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna get mileage out of this. And I know you could definitely make it more intense than what I'm wearing today, but I tend to like a lighter kind of wash of color on my lid. That is my personal preference. I could go darker, but this is my comfort zone while still using all 6 shades in here. And I feel like for the price, you're getting a ton of product. Let me just put this into perspective for you. One of these is $55, and you are getting 16.2 grams. One of these from Charlotte Tilbury has 2 shades less, is $53. It's $2 less, and you're getting 5.2 grams. You're getting 3 times the amount of product in here than you're getting in here, and it's $2 more. You're getting 2 different shades. So if we're just talking about value for what you're getting a ton of value here. I think also the packaging is really nice. The mirror is beautiful. The only problem I have is that all of my Wayne Goss palettes look exactly the same. So I have a blush palette, I have a bronzing and contour palette, and I have 3 eye palettes. And if they're all like this together, they all look the same on the front, then I have to look at the back. This is the bronzing one. Oh, this is the blush one. Oh, this one is Tourmaline. Like, I have to actually look at them. I can't tell by packaging. You're getting a ton of product in here, and it works really, really well. I'm the sort of person who really advocates for a smaller palette. 6 shades is perfect for me. And I could probably get a variety of looks, 3 or 4 different types of looks based on the shades that I use and where I place them on the eye. I feel like this is really gonna go really far. You don't need 30 shades, you don't need 50 shades. I feel like you can do a lot with 6. And I love that the industry is coming back to less is more, smaller, smaller, smaller. The fact that ColourPop started putting out quads, hello. Did you see the new Natasha Denona is coming out with a little tiny trio of the Glam palette for holiday? Like, people are going there. They're getting smaller because they realize that we have so much, we're not using it all. Let's really get the best of the best. I'm really curious to know what sort of eyeshadow palettes you like. Color story, size. I tend to prefer like more neutral color stories and smaller sizes, but let me know what your favorites are. And if you have a favorite formula, I tend to like Wayne's formula, let me know what your favorite formula is in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for being subscribed. And if you aren't, would you please have an incredible day, and I will see you again soon.